Hello friends, Heidi here from Rain Country. God is good all the time. And I'm here today to talk about natural bedding and what we are currently using and just love. Now, I'm first going to start off with pillows because this is what really set the whole thing in motion. Was I had a follower who asked me what I use for pillows. Though we've done feather pillows in the past, I'll cover that in a bit. We more recently had been using fiberfill, just some pillows we had on hand because we had to get rid of the feather pillows. It reminded me that that's something I've been wanting to do for a while, was look into some more natural pillows, what's out there, and just do an overhaul because it was just time to get rid of those. Now for bedding, we've always just used 100% cotton sheets. You know, anything that's breathable is great. I don't recommend, microfiber. I know some people have allergies and they have to be careful with certain things. But, personally, I say stay away from microfiber when it comes to sheets. But, you got to do what you got to do if you have allergies. I'm sure there's other options. And one of them could possibly be what we're using for sheets now. But I'll get into that later. Let's first talk about the pillows. So though feather/down pillows can be really great natural option, one thing again is some people have allergies to such things. But if you don't, getting a good feather pillow is going to cost you a lot of money. And that's the mistake I learned along the way, was quite a number of years ago when I saw feather pillows at our local store, as it was time for us to upgrade our pillows then. I'm like, oh wow, they have feather pillows here and they're only $15 a piece. I'm getting a couple. And at first I really loved them, but they weren't down pillows, they were feather. There is a difference. Down is feathers. However, they're the soft, little short, fluffy feathers with the teeny tiny quills in them. Not feathers like this with the long, sharp, thick quills in them that some of those ended up in our pillows. So as I explained in another video, one of the first things that went wrong with those was that as I was slipping my arm under the pillow one night, one of those bigger quills poked through the pillowcase and totally scratched my arm, and it took a long time for that thing to heal up. I had this big long scratch going clear up my arm. And then when it came to just the care, there was a lot I just didn't understand. I think I did try washing them. That was a mistake. But even before that, the feathers in the pillows were starting to clump together. They were, because of the longer, cheap feathers that were being used, they were actually basically tying together and turning into these massive clumps that made it super uncomfortable. And I jokingly would say it feels like the birds are putting themselves back together in my pillow. And so eventually we had to get rid of those. I did eventually try opening up one of the pillows to see if there was any way to separate those feathers back out. No, it was useless. You could not, they were so knotted together, there was nothing you could do. Now, some people did share on the video where I talked about this on a this and that it is important to hang your feather pillows out and let them air dry at least once a week, I think they said, which makes perfect sense. And I don't know why I didn't think about that. Unless you're getting a good one, I just don't recommend even bothering. I know somebody told me they paid $70 a piece for their good feather pillows or down pillows. And that sounds about right. That would make sense. It's about what you're looking at. Now, some other options would be that I've never tried, don't know anything about, would be, I think it was buckwheat pillows. Now, I don't know if that's just the hulls or the buckwheat is all. I'm assuming it's buckwheat hulls. To me, that sounds like it would be noisy, and somebody else did share that would be noisy, and that could be an option if you're allergic to feathers, but that to me doesn't sound comfortable. Now, some people may really like that. It also sounds to me like they'd be kind of hard, but again, I don't know. I could be totally off base. But you could look into that. And anyone who has buckwheat pillows or anything similar to that, please share down below. Actually, just share whatever your favorite natural pillow is. So as I tend to do, usually when I first start looking for something, I just because Amazon's a good place to just kind of find things and get an idea what's out there. Well, I saw these 100% cotton, 100% organic pillows on Amazon, and I was just immediately, I'm like, that looks absolutely perfect. And here's the reason why I just fell in love with it right away. I did read reviews. I did kind of go through there, and I was impressed with what I read. But the thing I really liked about these pillows is that they have a zipper in them, and the cotton in here is loose. It's not like fiberfill. It's not like something that clumps together. It's actually quite loose. I'll show it to you here. So this is what it looks like. It's very, very loose. Okay, and so what makes this really great is that you can take out as much of the filling as you want to make this pillow more comfortable to you. So when you first get it, it's at least this one. It is basically, it's vacuum sealed into a bag. And so it's really flat when you first get it. And then as soon as you break the seal on that bag, the pillow will start filling up with air, and that cotton over the next night or two, in fact, will just keep getting fluffier. But it's very tightly packed. I'm talking tightly packed, because they want to make sure that you can have your pillow adjusted to suit you. For the standard size pillow, which is what I got each of us, it was $40. They have smaller ones that are a little bit less, and I'm assuming like king size would be more. I didn't see what the price was. And just to be outright honest with you, I did not look at the country of origin, and it wasn't until the pillows came in that I realized, unfortunately, that they were made in China. Sometimes I simply just forget to look. And so that was a disappointment. However, regardless of where it's made, it is a pillow I absolutely love. Best pillow I've ever had. Now, the next thing I'm going to show you is how much stuffing I've taken out of this pillow to make it suit me. Look at that. That's enough to fill up another whole pillow or more, depending on how fluffy or flat you like your pillow. I like it somewhere in the middle. I like it where it's loose enough in there where I can adjust it to shape around my neck, you know, and give my neck support. I don't want my head like this because it's going to make my neck hurt, which was, I could not sleep on it with this much in there. So I took out this much, and this is the bag it came in. And so I just shoved it right back in the bag so I could have it as backup, or so I can have it to make another pillow if I want to, which I just might do. But one of the things I was waiting on, and Patrick did the same thing with his, he left a little more in his than I did in mine, but he took quite a bit out and then he used his bag. So I have a lot of this stuff, a lot of this cotton that I can make more pillows if I want to. Now, here's the other thing is you saw me show that cotton. One of the things I wanted to make sure I did before I used this to make more pillows, or before I even shot this video, is I wanted to see just how machine washable it was. It claimed to be machine washable on the site. And so I thought, I've got to go ahead and take the chance. If nothing else, worst comes to worst, I can restuff it. So I went ahead and washed it. And by the time it went through the spin cycle, it was pretty dry and it stayed fluffy. And I thought, well, even though it says hang dry, I'm going to go ahead and try putting it in the dryer for a few minutes. And I knew it wouldn't take long anyway because it already felt pretty dry, just because it's cotton. Cotton dries quickly anyway. And by the way, it does come with this cotton sheet here, this cotton pillowcase. So it does, and I always double case my pillows, always. So that's just an extra protection. So I don't have to wash the pillows as much. Keeps them a little bit cleaner. And then, you know, wash the sheets once a week, wash the inner pillowcase maybe once a month. And anyway, so yeah, that's why I left that on there. But I went ahead and tossed it in the dryer for probably about 10 minutes, checked it, then went ahead and put it in for another 5, and it was totally fine. Nothing clumped together. In fact, it made the cotton in there more fluffy again, and I found myself having to take more out to shove into this bag over here. So instead of it making it clump and flat and big lumps, and it just actually made it fluffier. And so I am absolutely in love with these pillows because of that. I know I can wash them without fear of it, like fiberfill. When you wash that in a pillow, it just leaves a bunch of lumps, and it's almost impossible to fix without ripping the pillow open and redoing everything, if you can even do that. So anyway, that's my pillow of choice. Now, I will go ahead and link to it down below, but at any rate, this style of pillow is perfect for us. I love it so much. I'm just totally sold on this pillow. Now let's talk about the sheets. That's what I have right here. And this came up because somebody, when I was talking about the pillow in one of my this and that videos, somebody was talking about getting linen sheets. And though I heard of linen sheets before, I mean, that's where the term linens comes from, I never actually thought of looking into buying linen sheets before. Just to me, it sounds like they would be scratchy and too thick, but obviously they're going to make the sheets differently than they would fabric that you're going to use for something else. Because I have had linen before. In fact, somebody had a special request for a linen skirt several years back, but that material was kind of heavy and a little thick. That's kind of how I assumed the sheets would be. But some people in the comments were going on about how much they love their linen sheets. And I'm like, whoa, I might have to look into those. So I did. And it took me a while to find some that not only were a color I really liked, because you don't typically with linen, they only have so many colors available. I've noticed that a lot. And I like green, especially more natural looking greens like this and like this. So I was really excited to find a set that was a color I really liked. And this is French flax linen. So the linen is actually made in France, and I was glad to see that. People were talking about how, yeah, you know, they're warm in winter, they keep you cooler in summer, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. And I thought I really should give them a try. But what I did not expect, and this was the thing that really sold me on these sheets, was the first night I had a hot flash while sleeping on these sheets. I noticed right away that the hot flash only lasted just a couple of seconds. It felt it coming on, and it almost felt like, this is going to sound a little bit crazy, but it really kind of felt like the sheets were actually pulling the heat away from me rather than radiating the heat back to me like my cotton sheets have always done. So it would feel like to me when I'd have a hot flash at night that my cotton sheets would just absorb all that heat and then just radiate it right back as if I was sleeping on a heating pad. And it was so horribly uncomfortable. But with the linen, opposite. It actually immediately has a cooling effect, and I was amazed. I should have known better. You know, if you read the Old Testament and the priests and wearing the linen and all that, it all starts to make sense. And that would be the major selling factor. If I would have known that right off the bat, I probably would have just ran out and bought them a long time ago. But definitely not stiff. They're quite soft. And it's one of those things that the more you wash it, the more you use it, it softens up even more. But I thought they were comfortable the first night. I did wash them right away as soon as I got them, and did use my dryer instead of hanging them to dry because I wanted to make sure they were nice and soft. And I can say that we've had both since I've had them, we've had some really warm nights and some really cold nights. We don't keep heat on in our bedroom ever, even in the middle of winter. So getting in a very, very cold bed, like cotton sheets can be really cold, especially if they're a nice smooth brush cotton like the kind I like. And they can be super cold. But on the pretty cold nights that we've had since I bought these, getting in them, it's warm the way flannel is without being so fuzzy. So they're not cold that same way. But if it's hot, they actually breathe quite well and cool you down better. So it's like you're getting the best of both worlds there. So now I want to show you how they're packed when you get them. So they come in this kind of a canvas type bag like this. And I'll link to these down below as well. And then you pull them out of the bag, and they're just wrapped so nicely. And so these just came in yesterday. I ordered a second set because I love these sheets so much. I had to have a backup. I always like having two sets. So when I strip the bed in the morning, on Sunday morning, I strip the bed, I want to be able to put clean sheets immediately on there because I get so busy during the day. I'm afraid, I hate it when I forget to come back and make sure the bed's made. So I did not want to put the cotton sheets back on. So that's what I've had to do with this, is wash them and then go ahead and throw them in the dryer so I can quickly get them back on the bed. But now I won't have to do that. I can start hanging them up. But I'll probably still throw them in the dryer the first couple times just to help soften them up more. But really, these feel very, very soft. And again, I'm very, very happy with this. However, there was one disappointment, just like with the pillow. So when I was hunting on these sheets, I'm like, I'm gonna make sure I get some that are not made in China, because I kept coming across sets and it would say, I'd look at country of origin, China, country of origin, China. These on the site actually said country of origin, France. And it does say it is 100% French linen. However, made in China. I was quite disappointed. As much as I love these sheets, and I did go ahead and buy another set because I knew I liked these, that was really disappointing. I felt that I was kind of lied to because it said country of origin was France. Well, I know what they're referring to is the fabric. The fabric actually is from France, the flax linen, but the sheets are constructed in China. So I just want to say that to be totally upfront. I'll go ahead and give you the link to these. But again, just like with a pillow, if you can find something similar that is made in France or made in the United States, I would like to know, and please let me know down below in the comments so other people can learn that too. I just think we're getting to the point where it's getting more and more impossible to find certain products that aren't either made in China or even put together in China. And it's really discouraging. That, however, does not detract from the fact that these are great sheets. Now, also be prepared if you've never bought linen before. They're about twice the price of a set of good 100% cotton sheets. Some cotton can be at least as much as these, though. I know that. But definitely more than I've ever paid for sheets before. But because of the good night's sleep we both have been able to get on these sheets, they were worth paying the extra for these. Now, my next question would be, what is the longevity? Now, since we've only had the first set for maybe about a month, so I can't give you any kind of longevity on it. I would think they would hold together at least as well as my cotton sheets. Another thing about these particular sheets I really liked, I want to show you before I forget, are the pockets. They have nice deep pockets, and then they also have that added piece of elastic that helps keep them anchored under the mattress. So I have had no issues with them slipping off ever. I mean, they stay in place really, really well. So the elastic it's not that really skinny stuff, and it seems like it's a pretty well constructed elastic. You've got the elastic piece that goes all the way around, and then you've got this extra elastic piece that goes across the corner. But anyway, I just wanted to be totally upfront about, after I got these in both cases, that was when I found out where they are made, but I'll still share the links, and I still wanted to share with you my experience with the linen and with this style of cotton pillow and how much we love them. We spend a lot of our lifetime sleeping, and getting good sleep is important. So having good quality sheets and pillows can really assist in that. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please share any of your thoughts, ideas down below. Again, if you know any companies that are not making such things in China, please let us know. All right, well, thanks for watching. Take care, and God bless.